What's going on, guys? Today we are dissecting the rise and fall of Vusimuzi, Cat Matlala, a man whose name alone could silence a room, a man who allegedly turned the legal system into his personal payroll. And when the walls finally closed in, it wasn't a quiet arrest, it was a war zone. They call him the John Wick of the criminal underworld, not because of the movies, but because of the way he moves. Calculated, heavily guarded, terrifying. In the streets of Mamelodi, they say he didn't just avoid the gangs, he dismantled them. For years, Mamelodi was gripped by the Boko Haram syndicate, a ruthless crew that extorted businesses and terrorized the community. But around 2021, the bodies of top crime bosses started piling up. One by one, the leaders were being hunted down and executed with professional precision. The streets started whispering a name. John Wick is here. While many thought he was a vigilante hero, crime intelligence reports later suggested a much darker reality. They alleged that Matlala was the John Wick of Mamelodi. He didn't take out the competition for justice. He did it to clear the board.
Okay. Now, what I'm asking because Mamelodi bayakusaba mfethu. Kuneruma lokuthi ayawinsizwa udlala. Why do you think bakusaba kangaka wenzani lengaka?
Mina ngazi ukuthi bangisaba ngizwa ngawe.
Angizwa ngabantu namfethu ngiyisithe ikhona ora yikho ngokwazi kwakho. Yaqala ukuyizwa.
Reports claim he used his elite security knowledge to systematically eliminate rival bosses, effectively becoming the Shadow King of Chwani. By the time the dust settled, the Boko Haram gang was shattered, and the name John Wick carried more fear than the criminals he replaced. To understand Cat Matlala, you have to understand that power. In Gauteng, it isn't just about money. It's about the space you occupy. Matlala owned the air. People describe him as surgically precise, not the loud guy in the club, but the man in the corner, the quietest voice, the loudest security. This was the Untouchable era, a time when leverage turned the law into a suggestion. Fear, Matlala understood, is more durable than respect. His security detail, not bouncers, they were the operators, former special task force members, private military contractors. When Matlala traveled, it was a coordinated military exercise. Lead car clearing the path, principal vehicle shielded, and a tail car watching for tails. This wasn't just protection. It was psychological warfare. A subpoena suddenly seemed trivial when you faced 4 men carrying submachine guns and wearing level 4 plates. Money funded the army, specifically the blue light shadow contracts. Matlala was the architect behind companies like Cat Protection Services. He sat at the center of massive government tenders, most notably a 360 million rand police medical contract. The irony is haunting. The man feared by the streets was responsible for the healthcare of the police. Investigators claim these weren't just business deals. They were pipelines designed to make millions vanish into shell companies. But the story goes deeper. Testimony in late 2025 linked Matlala to the so-called Big Five cartel, a syndicate allegedly involved in narcotics, extortion, and contract killings. They say he wasn't just a businessman, he was a kingpin who had effectively captured the police from the inside. The real shock? His proximity to power. In South Africa, the line between underworld and upperworld is thin. With Matlala, it disappeared. During his explosive testimony in November 2025, Matlala didn't hold back. He claimed he made a 500,000 rand payoff to former police minister Beki Cele to keep the heat off. Imagine a detective trying to build a case while his own boss is reportedly on the suspect's payroll. He didn't fight the system. He dined with it. Even in the dock, Matlala didn't look like a prisoner. He turned the courtroom into a Fendi catwalk. While most accused show up in hoodies, Cat showed up in designer drip that could pay for a luxury car. We're talking head-to-toe Fendi and R50,000 Burberry outfits. He even sat there wearing a Rolex Submariner date, encrusted with blue sapphires. It was a silent message. I might be in handcuffs, but you haven't touched my wealth. But every empire has a best before date. In January 2023, the illusion shattered near Santon. Actress Tebogo Thobajane survived a professional execution attempt in broad daylight. High-caliber rounds, glass everywhere. She survived, but the businessman mask fell. The state could ignore a stolen tender, but they couldn't ignore a war in the heart of Africa's richest square mile. The arrest was a statement. Tactical units descended with force reserved for terrorists. Matlala went from hosting ministers to a cell in Kosi Mampuru. But even there, he held a remote control. A raid in 2025 uncovered a high-end smartphone in his cell. He was still managing the empire from his cage. On December 21, 2025, they made their final move. They disappeared him into Ibongweni, South Africa's only super-maximum facility in Kokstad. This is the end of the line. Solitary confinement for 23 hours a day. No visitors, no designer clothes, no smartphones. Just four walls and the silence of a collapsing legacy. As we sit here in January 2026, the endgame has arrived.
It's the home of the condemned, designed to keep hardened convicts away from society. It's the only one of its kind in Southern Africa. Inmates are under strict surveillance in the high-tech Ebongweni Ultra Maximum Correctional Center. They spent 23 hours in solitary confinement, and this is the only sunshine they see for an hour in a small courtyard during their exercises.
This is the worst prison I've ever been in, whether it's in Nigeria or in Angola or anywhere. This is the worst kind of place you can keep anyone.
Matlala faces 25 charges, including 11 counts of attempted murder. His high court trial is set to begin on January 29, 2026. The friends in high places? They've deleted his number and burned the photos. But Matlala knows where the bodies are buried, literally and figuratively. So, what is the truth? Is he a mastermind who outsmarted the state, or a symptom of a system so broken that a kingpin could buy the handcuffs meant to arrest him? Legends built on fear don't disappear quietly. They either fall hard, or they haunt the system that created them. And Cat Matlala? He's still breathing. What do you think? Was the John Wick legend a hero for Mamelodi, or just a front for a deadlier kind of boss? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the update after the trial begins on the 29th. We'll see you on the next one.